Well, good morning, good morning. It's the day the Lord's made. I'm trying to get this. I was going through cabinets, getting all this party stuff out that I've had for a long time, and I thought, I've got to put all this, get rid of it. I'm not going to have no more fiestas. I don't think I'm going to have any more fiestas. So that's what I was doing, and it's early morning, and I've got the key limes to make the key lime pie, and I've got a bunch of stuff set out here for that, but we're not doing that now. I've got too many irons in the fire today, being Friday, like we always do. Y'all do too, I imagine. We'll just set our oranges and buy a cockadoodle, and they kind of match, don't they? Cockadoodle and things kind of picked up here just a minute. Okay. You know me and my madness. Well, I'm gonna make some biscuits this morning that I want to do. They're just a drop biscuit, you know, an easy drop biscuit, because Mother wanted sausage sandwich, so of course I'm going to make Mother a sausage sandwich because that's what she wanted. And then I said to myself, well, I'd like to have some gravy on some biscuits. So I thought, oh, I don't need to make big pans of those biscuits, so I'm just going to do that little ingredient drop biscuit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get me 2 cups. Let's see, 2 cups of flour. And I'm going to put that in my bowl. That's about 2 cups, and that'll be enough biscuits for me. With it being drop biscuits, I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff, you know. I haven't made these. I've made similar ones, so we'll see what kind of drop biscuits these are. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of my aluminum-free baking powder. I use this Gaffin aluminum-free. Get it off of Amazon. You can use self-rising. I didn't have it. I'm waiting for my King Arthur self-rising to come in, so we're just going to do it this way. Must be fine. I'm going to get some butter. 1 stick, that'd be a half a cup. But it won't be soft enough for us to use. I don't know where the butter is, y'all. That just beats all everything. Beats all everything. Eggs and all kinds of stuff, but no butter. We had a butter thief. See, I had all my butter in here, and I bought a new box of this, and so we'll just have to do without it, won't we? We'll make do. We'll make do, y'all. We'll make do. I'll just sit here and use some of this. I'll just sit here and kind of pull some of this off of this frozen. And that'd be fine. You don't want it you don't want it warm anyway. So we'll just put in some little dregs in this here. So we need quite a bit. I'll tell you what I can do is just I'll pull enough of this off to where we'll have enough. Yeah, if y'all was here, there's always something going on here. I'm always losing something or breaking something, or just the way it is. Mother's doing a lot better, y'all. I got her to the doctor yesterday. Got her on some antibiotics for the UTI. The culture hadn't come in, but we pretty sure it's the same one she usually has. The E. coli and Marabessa, or what, I can't even say it. We're gonna make do with this, y'all. And then I'll have a new fresh thing out with butter. I think that'll work in. We'll see. Let me get my get everything picked up, and y'all know I lose everything. I lose everything. But we do what we can do, don't we? Let's just take that butter and blend it in to get you kind of a sand mixture. Y'all know how to do this. Just get them little balls. So what that does is that butter melts, and then it leaves a little pocket, and while them are cooking, that steam makes that biscuit rise up. I just didn't want a whole bunch of biscuits left over. The other day I used them, and I was eating those biscuits I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt in this. I was using those biscuits, and I didn't want that many. So we're just going to do this little drop biscuit here. I hope everybody's had a good week. I hope that being Friday, yeah, that looks kind of like sand a little bit. I mean, if I wanted to, I could roll those out, you know. So then I'm going to put, I may have to add a little more flour. I was thinking, since that butter was kind of offset, no, I'll just do it like this. I'm going to add a cup of milk to that, but let me get, I'm going to add a teaspoon. I need a cup of buttermilk, and I'm going to have it. So I'm going to add a teaspoon to my cup of milk there. Vinegar. Let that sit there a minute. I'm going to add about a teaspoon to that cup of vinegar. I mean, the cup of milk. I'm going to add a teaspoon of vinegar. Then I'm going to add to that, I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of ricotta cheese. And that will kind of suffice with that butter mixture. Plus it'll give it a good flavor. I'll upgrade the recipes since we had this here. We'll see. I think I'm just going to use these as drop biscuits, but we'll have to see the consistency since I messed up with all the butter. So we'll just pour that in our bowl and mix it around. See how that comes out now. Now I could roll that out, I guess, because it makes some little biscuits, smaller biscuits. But Mother's not going to eat them. She just don't like biscuits. I guess they grew up, get all that flour off there. She just don't like them, I think, because they grew up with them biscuits. And I'm exhausted and the day hasn't started yet, y'all. You know, that's the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. Let me rinse my hands. Get my little bitty I'll get my old Tupperware, Granny's old Tupperware. Looks like it's been chewed up and eat up, but I don't. It doesn't matter. It's an old Tupperware one. Looks like that's probably where I cut it when I was a little boy with some kind of cookie cutter or making something. So I'm getting that all worn out. And that's what I'm going to cock-a-doodle. You just sit there and hold that down a minute. Let me get this oils out of the way. Give me a little flour. Just a little bit. I want a whole bunch. Well, you never know, but I don't think so. Put that right there. Let's get this out of here. Because we do not want just kind of knead it just a little bit. Pull that in and knead it. Think about when they didn't have no light bread or any kind of bread, and they had to make them biscuits every morning. Well, Grandma, she'd keep her biscuits, her flour and everything ready all the time for some kind of bread. Bread was usually biscuits for lunch, dinner, whatever, you know. I hope that's got enough liquid in it to keep them from being too flaky. Roll that around and get those dregs up so we don't waste a lot, you know. We want that just incorporated. Let me get my little biscuit cutter here, and I'm trying to think what to put them. I can just put them in the. Let me get my biscuit cutter there. Get this ricotta cheese put back up. So I don't have a bigger mess. Most of the time I have a bigger mess than when I started. And that's just the way that I do things, I think. And I'm just going to get a pie pan. That's what I'm going to do. Just kind of, I want that about a half an inch is what I'm going to cut straight down. Remember y'all, you cut straight down so that, pull that in and turn it. And then you'll have, that'll keep you biscuits. Pull that like that, see, and kind of turn it. Then you can measure it. I'm going to pull that one in. Most of the time you can do that in your hand. I'll have to do you another biscuit. Pull that. So that's four. That's four pretty good size biscuits there. Wash my hands. Wash my hands. And Lord, I've got a mess. Be careful of that flour bitter, Gene. You'll have it all over the place. Okay. Let me get just a hair of cream. And use cream, or I'll just get a little bit of cream in here on the bottom. I don't want much. Just, I'm talking about just a little bit. Then I'll get some of my, a little bit of this basil, olive oil, not much, just a little bit. I don't mind that basil on my biscuits sometimes because I'm going to put that basil in with that, just that little bit of cream. And that's just what I'm going to brush on these biscuits so that they don't dry out. And I think today they need to have a little, get that all off of there, see, don't waste it. Now, get that all on there. That'll help keep them together. Let me put these in the wash. Break them. Now I'm going to put these in the oven. I'm going to put them in at 450, and then I'll see how long we need to bake them. Reason I get, let me turn on. I start them at 450, and sometimes if I have a big pan and they need to, I'm going to put them only on about 15 minutes because I'm using convection. So, okay, we got the biscuits in. Cock-a-doodle, little cock-a-doodle, doodle-doodle-doodle. Let me get this up because we've got to get on and get something else done. Let me get this over to the sink if I can. So I don't make a mess. Mess. And y'all know I'm prone to messes. I have to clean up as I go so that I don't have such a big mess to start my day. So we got that kind of picked up. I washed this stove yesterday good with vinegar water, and here's cockadoodle. Good old cockadoodle off. And then of course, you know, you clean the stove, and by the time it was time to go to bed, I had to re-clean it again, and I had to I don't like these glass stoves. I don't like them at all. Alright, we'll get our skillet. Turn our skillet on. Turn our skillet on. Let me get one of our. I'm not going to use the whole. Well, we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the whole thing of sausage. I'm not so sure if I'm going to use the whole deal of sausage or not. Now, since I'm going to make mother a sausage on light bread, hot sausage sandwich, I'm going to make her a couple bread-sized patties. I bought this sausage for $3.49. It's that natural, no preservatives kind of sausage, good. And it's on sale, so I'm using it. I kept it in the freezer, and then I kept it in the freezer. It's kind of the hot brand, and I think when it says hot, they didn't want it. Somebody didn't want it. That's why we got it. It's such a good deal. Go ahead and push this out. I should have pushed that out a little bit while it still kind of froze, but I didn't. So, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. Two smaller ones. Put this off of there. Yeah, I love these on the come with this cutting board, because then if I have pork or anything, I can just not get it down in my cutting board, and I can wash that off with the dishwasher, or I don't have a dishwasher, but I can wash that off, see. Wash that off there. And I got to talking, you know me. Got to talking. That'll make her some good sausage sandwich, and that'll make me some Now we just let them kind of cook there for a little bit. I'm trying to get some of this stuff kind of cleaned up. I've never used this sweetened condensed field milk by Pronto, but this is what I'm going to use for the key lime pie. I'll do that later. I don't know exactly. Tomorrow I'm going to go to a open house for a doctor friend of mine's new skin business. I don't know if Mother's gonna feel like going. She's doing a lot better, y'all. Thank you for the prayers. I was quite concerned, but those UTIs, you know, can be detrimental. And I really would that'll make some good sausage there, y'all. That'll make some good patties there. I wish y'all was here to have a cup of coffee and breakfast with us today. I bought these little oranges. They were like 4 in a package, or maybe 5 in a package for 99 cents. And I ate 2 of them last night. I thought those were good. Of course, these was regular price, but I gotta have those for our key lime pie. Don't tell nobody we're gonna have any. I'll be breaking in wanting it. Because we can use our Nellie and Joe's key limes from Florida juice. Boy, that makes the best pie. It's not bitter, not nothing. Plus, I'm gonna use the lime olive oil that I get down at the Copper Kettle cooking store. I'm going to use this in the graham cracker crust. I was going to do a regular crust, but then I thought, no, I'm not going to do it that way. Everybody's used to key lime pies that are made with graham crackers, so I'm not going to change that, even though I grew up on the one that didn't have graham crackers a lot of times. I thought, no, I'm just going to do the one that everybody's used to. But I'm going to use that lime olive oil, infused olive oil. Gosh, that's going to be so good, y'all. In that crust, and then have that filling with the key lime juice from Florida. That'll be one of those great recipes. You want to get that pork done, y'all, don't you? You want it done all the way. When I was a kid, they said, don't eat that pork if it's not cooked, because it'll make you sick. It can cause you to have those little crawly things, I'm not going to say the word, in your stomach from uncooked pork. So make sure you always, plus nowadays you could have that E. coli from uncooked stuff. We'll scrape that up and make with our gravy mix up. That's on the gravy mix. You remember I told y'all don't buy that gravy mix, you make your own. so you don't have all that byproducts in it. Well, this is our gravy mix that we made. Turn that grease on down so that don't burn. I don't want them to. I want to make sure those get done. Have y'all ever had a sausage sandwich? They sure are good. You know, when I was a little boy, of course, Mother got up at 6 o'clock, 5:30, cooked breakfast, and by the time I got up and got my clothes and everything on to get on the bus, way down at the road I'd walk, or she'd take us usually in the car. We didn't have to walk. She'd get a piece of sausage and roll it up in a piece of bread or a biscuit or something she'd made in an old paper towel, and that's where I'd go. Wouldn't have nothing to drink till I got to school, but I'd get there and the cafeteria would be opening up, and I wasn't so hungry, but I'd get one of those little cartons of milk and I'd drink a couple of them sometimes. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut our biscuits off and let them set in the oven pretty sure. Let me look up something real quick. My phone may be going down, so I've got to plug it in. Hold on just a minute. I was trying to get my phone plugged in. Hold on, y'all. That's telling me my bread. So let's just turn that off. Just turn that on off. Okay, I got my phone charging. I don't know what was wrong. Why? Okay, see there, that's all cooked down. They shrunk up some, but that sausage is good. It doesn't shrink up a whole lot, see? And you don't have your blood and all that coming out. It's good. Okay, let me get a little plate. Let me get a little plate and we'll take our we'll put us a little, I think I'm going to tear that in 2 pieces. I just kind of cover my plate so I can get these out. and let them drain there for a minute. Oh, they're hot. There's a sausage. Got a sausage cooked. And I kind of just scraped that. I think there'll be enough grease, but I'm not sure. Let me put just a little more. Turn that back up a little bit. While that's coming up, let's take our biscuits out so they don't get too brown. Get a pot holder. Check them. Oh goodness, there's our biscuits. They got done. They're soft. Ooh, I like to drop them. Yeah, them are good. Them are good biscuits. Let's just set them here, and I'll show them to you in a little bit. Let me get this. I gotta watch this. If I don't, it'll burn up. I'm gonna need another spoon. Thank the Lord I've got all these wooden spoons, because by the time I get through. Okay. Our gravy mix that we made. Let me get I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of this mix into my pan, because I don't want a whole bunch of gravy, but I don't want a little minute bit either. I'm just going to brown that around there. Get that all kind of browned. I want that to brown. Turn that fire down. Don't burn your gravy, Billy. Gene, you better pull that over to the side there. Alright, let me get a milk. Let me get a milk. Now I have put this in the freezer, this milk, because I'm going to add a cup. I'm going to eyeball it. But I put this in the freezer because I didn't know what things we're going to do in the world, so I freeze this milk, and it's just as good. When I took it out last night, it's still kind of froze, but it's still good and it keeps. So if y'all find milk, I'm going to put a little heavy cream in that just to give it a gravy, cream gravy. I like it. And I need to use that. I need to use that up anyway. Now let me turn this fire back up and start getting this. Let's put some pepper in it. It has pepper, but I like pepper gravy. I'm gonna put a little salt. I'll put about half teaspoon to a teaspoon. Now, we'll start stirring that around, getting those lumps. Now these are not like lumps from see if you don't cook that flour down. A lot of y'all don't know how to make gravy, but those lumps, if you don't cook your flour like I showed you in that grease, this is not the lumps they're talking about. They're talking to people say lumpy gravy. That's because you didn't cook that flour good enough, and it'll be big white chunks. This is just the brown flour, and you have to mix it into that. Get that mixed in, because you have those little pieces of meat, sausage in there. See, I'm mixing that and it's breaking apart. Now if you had lumpy gravy, it won't break apart. You just have to. Now I'm going to add, I've got to add, let me turn that down a little bit. I got to add some water to that because I don't want to put a whole bunch more milk. I don't want a whole bunch. See, it's starting to bubble. I'm just going to put some water in there and thin that down so I don't use as much milk. And then it's not a water gravy like they used to make during the Depression. I don't like that. I have to have some kind of milk in my gravy. Make a creamed gravy. Now there's sausage in there that I thought I didn't have big pieces, but that they make it better. See how that's, let's turn that on off so you don't burn your gravy. I sit there and let that fry a little long. So what you can do is you take if you're having guests or you don't want to have any lumps in it at all, easy way of doing that. Let me get my I'll get my little Corningware bowl, and I'll set that right here. And let me get a screen door strainer. So you know how you've cooked that down. But just to be, for y'all that might have lumpy gravy, because this isn't a lumpy gravy, this has got meat particles in it, and I don't think I'm going to strain it. Because I like it like that, because that's just sausage down in there. But you can take your strainer if you think you got white lumps and then put them through it, and that'll get them out, and then you don't have to be embarrassed or worry about lumpy gravy. Now this is a good gravy here. It's a good meat gravy. You can see the meat in it, and that's what you want. Okay, let me move the sugar bowl out. Let me get the biscuits out. Got the sausage. So don't forget to make your gravy mix, and then you'll have it ready. To just use your meat gravy, or you can add this like this oils, and then you can just put 3 tablespoons of your mix in there to 1 cup of milk. Like me, it was a cup of milk, but then I had to thin it on down because I let it sit there and cook a little bit without stirring it, talking to y'all. So then that's put your water in there and it'll bring it on around. Okay, I'm just going to get a piece of white bread, and I'm going to get a piece of white bread and try to get Mama's sandwich done, and then she'll like that. Let me get her a plate. We got Mother a plate. I'm just going to use a piece of white bread right here, and what I will do is I like to kind of take these smaller ones, and that'll give her, I don't think she'll need, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Good idea. Y'all want to hear a good idea? She doesn't like a lot of bread. She won't eat it. I'll go in there and she'll have 1 piece of bread took off, and it'll waste, and we're not going to waste. So I'm going to take this sausage. She wouldn't need a biscuit. So I'm just going to put her gravy on this with the bread. Let me get a label here. And that gravy, there's her gravy. Okay, now we'll just drizzle there. She'll like that. So there's a sausage and gravy for Mama. And for me, I'm going to get me a plate. Let me move Cockadoodle's vegetables out of the way. I mean fruit. So I've got to set my... This kitchen is too small. Y'all know it's too small. Let me get... That'll be alright. I don't want to set them on that hard deal there. We'll just pull them, cut the biscuit open. And there's a good biscuit. Look at that. And then we'll take a sausage. And we can do it two ways. You can kind of do it however you want to do it. I don't want a lot of sausage, but that's what I'm going to, this is the way I'm going to do it. With a green, yeah, a big fresh red tomato. Be good out of the garden on that. For breakfast. People probably from the south, they wouldn't like that, but we down here, we like a tomato with ours. Okay, y'all. So now we've had our lesson for today. This morning is sausage and gravy. Using our gravy mix. We made a new kind of biscuit because we didn't have thawed out butter. So see, there's always something new going on in Billie Jean's kitchen. God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States. Y'all please stay safe this weekend. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Wish y'all was here to eat with us.